Hi guys, I'm Ayushi, your mentor for law entrance exams, and welcome to Law Digest. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss everything about CLAT exam, the eligibility, the paper pattern, the syllabus, how to go about this exam, what to prepare, what not to prepare, everything we are going to discuss in this video. So if you're looking forward on updates on these aspects, or you're looking to prepare for this exam along with me, then what you can do is you can subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon so that as and when a video gets uploaded, you get automatic notification for the same. Now coming on to the confusion that is revolving around this exam amongst the aspirants is that the pattern changed in 2019 December only. So if you look at the internet, several websites are not really updated as to what is the syllabus and how should we prepare for this exam. The syllabus has completely changed, and the new pattern for CLAT that is there now is in the form of comprehension based questions. Now what they really are, we'll come at it later. First, let us have a look at what is the eligibility for this exam, whether you're eligible to sit for this exam or not. Now, if you look at the upper age limit, there is no upper age limit. You can sit for the CLAT exam after completing your grade 12th. And also, there are some people who feel that they want to do their LLB from NLUs only and they have good amount of time in hand. They can also opt for CLAT, though 3-year LLB is advised for such people. But obviously, if it is your personal choice, if you want to go for NLU only, then CLAT is the exam for you. And also not to miss out on ALET, the recent notification is also out for ALET. It will be held on 2nd of May 2021. You can apply for that exam as well. So the upper age limit is not there. Now what is the minimum percentage marks that you need to score in your grade 12th for this exam? 45% is required for candidates who are from General, OBC, PWD, these categories, and further 40% marks is required for people belonging to SC/ST categories. Further, the people who are appearing, the candidates who are appearing for their qualifying examination in March or April. Now this is 2020 because this is from the last notification. This will be 2021. Let the official notification come. But obviously, the students who are appearing for their final exams in 2021, they are also eligible to sit for this examination. And once the admissions start, you will be required to furnish your results, and you can do that. So candidates who are still appearing for their exam, they can also sit for it. It is not necessary that you have completed your 12th, your result is out, some time has lapsed, and only then you can apply for this exam. Even if आप अभी appear कर रहे हैं exam के लिए, तब भी आप इस exam के लिए बैठ सकते हैं. Now, moving further, looking at the paper pattern, what is it? Now, all these screenshots that I've taken from the official website of CLAT, the consortium of NLUs that is there. I'll post the link of the same in the description. If you want, you can go at your individual end also, and you can look at the website and see what are the guidelines that are mentioned therein. You'll find several sample papers as well, and you'll have a good look as to what kind of questions are asked. Now looking at maximum marks, 150 is your maximum marks that is there. The exam is for 2 hours and it is for 1 mark each. Negative marking is there of 0.5 marks. Now looking at your subjects, English, current affairs, including GK, legal reasoning, logical reasoning, and quant. And here the weightage for the same is given. Now if you look here, the maximum weightage is for your current affairs and for your legal. And secondly, English and logical have the same amount of weightage, and the least is for quant. Obviously, but we cannot ignore any section if we really need to score well, and our aim is to get through top NLUs, then obviously no section needs to be skipped. Now moving further, let us see that what they essentially check in this exam. They are going to evaluate the comprehension and reasoning skills and abilities of the candidates. So as I said earlier, it is a comprehension based exam. So your reading and comprehension skills will be tested here, and your test of aptitude and skills that is necessary for legal education is tested here. So basically, the reasoning for changing this pattern was that no prior knowledge should be required. Obviously, current affairs, in the current affairs section, you need to know what is there, what is happening in the country. Apart from that, you won't require your prior knowledge as such, and your reasoning ability, your comprehension ability, all these skills are going to be checked through this exam. Now, looking at the individual sections that are there, coming on to English. English में basically what they're going to check is they'll give you a passage of about 450 words. Now in these passages they are going to check your ability to read and comprehend the main points, draw inferences, summarize the passage as such, and contrast the arguments and viewpoints and understand the meaning of different words and phrases. So this is what you need to know for English. That is what they are going to check. For this exam particularly, you really need to have good amount of your reading skills. You need to develop your reading skills. You have time, you have another 6 months with you. In that particular time, you need to develop on your reading skills. How can you do that? By reading newspapers, by reading different books, editorials. So you can look at different passages. The kind of passages they will provide you are contemporary or historically significant fiction or non-fiction writing. So these are the areas that will be tested upon and where the passages will come from, and you should be able to read this passage in about 5 to 7 minutes. A single passage you should be able to do in 5 to 7 minutes of time. So to get a good hand of practice at English, so English is a language, it can only come with practice. What you can do is you can look at your NCERTs, you can solve different reading comprehensions on the internet as well. You will find plethora of reading comprehension questions. You can look at them, you can look at past year papers, you can also check past year papers for other exams as well. There is no harm in picking up passages from different exam, ALET, BHU, MHCET, even from the 3-year pattern you can pick up the reading comprehension. There is no end to RCs. So you need to practice on those. And when we speak of your phrases and your words, what you can do is there is a book called Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. You can check that. For your grammar, you can check Wren and Martin. And obviously, English is something that comes with practice. If you feel that you are weak at English, you need to work upon it. Read in English, write in English, speak in English, think in English. Then moving further, legal reasoning. In your legal reasoning, what they're going to do is, again, there will be passages of about 450 words. Then these passages will relate to factual situations or scenario that will involve legal matters, public policy questions, moral, philosophical inquiries. So prior knowledge of law is not required, but obviously you will benefit from general awareness of contemporary and legal issues. So the legal issues that are prevailing in the country, you must be aware of the same. If we look at today, Farmers Bill is currently prevalent, so you should have a fair idea about what this Farmers Bill is all about. If you've read such passages earlier, you pick up every day in the newspaper, you can pick up legal passages and you can look through them. If you're looking for more, then on our website, we have a course for CLAT. You can check there as well, where your passages are there and there is a whole comprehension and you can answer the questions on that basis. Now, what basically will the passage require you to do in this section is identify and infer the rules and principles that are set out in the passage, apply these rules and principles to various facts and situations, and understand how they may alter the application. Also, if we speak of CLAT, you're not required to really know all the laws or what are the concepts. That is not required for CLAT, but what may be required is your knowledge of Constitution. So it is important that you read up Constitution well, and you should know what is contained in the Constitution, what are the various provisions, what are the basics of the Constitution. You must be aware of that. Constitution can be asked in your GK portion as well, in your static GK portion as well, or they may give you some passage on any legal matter where any question of constitutional importance is being asked, and there they can check your knowledge about the Constitution. Then moving further, logical reasoning. In logical reasoning, what you will be required to do is there will be a passage of about 300 words each, and these questions will see what your ability to recognize arguments and come to conclusions, identify the argument that is set out, critically analyze the patterns of reasoning and assess the conclusion, then infer various things from the passages, draw relationships, analogies, identify contradictions, and assess the effectiveness of the arguments. So for logical reasoning, basically there are different books that are there. There is R.S. Agarwal that's there. Then for critical reasoning, if you look at the passage-based logical reasoning here, they are going to basically check your ability of critical reasoning as well. In critical reasoning, what they do is they'll give you assertion and reasons for the same, and you need to come to a conclusion, or they'll give you statements and you need to arrive at certain conclusions. conclusion. All these things you need to do. So this is basically the pattern that is followed in GMAT. In GMAT exam, such patterns are followed. What you can do is you can obviously look up on YouTube as well and check that how questions are asked in GMAT, and you can get some books for practicing the same. There are certain self guides also available in the market like Universal Single. You can practice from there as well. Now, speaking of current affairs again, your 450 word passage will be there, and these passages, where will they pick these passages from? Your news, journalistic sources, other non-fictional writing. So there are different papers that are available online. So many current affairs is all over the internet, in the newspapers. They'll just pick up some passages from there. And such questions may include your examination of your legal information or knowledge that is discussed in the passage. But obviously, your prior knowledge won't really be checked. But obviously, additional knowledge of law will not be checked. It will be based on that passage only. But obviously, for current affairs, a little prior knowledge you need to have. For example, if somebody is being appointed, or there are awards that are distributed, summits are held, treaties are signed, all these things you need to know. You need to know your current affairs well. So basically, your contemporary events that are happening in India and all over the world, you need to have a knowledge of the same. Then arts and culture, international affairs, then historical events, all these things you need to know. For current affairs, basically the most important and the best source is your newspaper. And if you get lost as to what to study and to what extent should you know current affairs, then obviously you can look at other sources as well. There are different websites on the internet. You can go through those, or you can also check our website for our module on CLAT, and their current affairs are provided. You can have a look at the current affairs there as well. Now, they've said that they are going to check your current affairs and general knowledge. Now, general knowledge can be anything. So, you're basically static GK. Static GK is not of a good amount that is asked, but still you need to have basic knowledge, your knowledge of GK, of history, geography, science, all these things you need to be aware of. Then, quant. Quant may, what they are going to do is they'll be giving you short set of facts or propositions, graphs, or other pictorial or diagrammatic representations. So basically your bar diagrams, histograms, to basically check your ability to interpret data and numerically analyze the same. So what they'll do is they will check whether you can derive, infer, and manipulate the numerical information that is set out in the passages. So if, for example, they've given you a pie chart, they might ask you that the value of this particular segment, and they'll give you different set of facts on the basis of this, that for example, say if the population is 100, then out of this 50% are Hindus and 30% are Christians. That is how they're going to give you this information, and you need to derive at the answers to the questions that may be asked further. So basically you need to apply your grade 10 standard mathematical operations here, and from areas like ratios, proportions, algebra, mensuration, and statistical estimation. That is basically what you need to do in the math section. So for this, what you can do is again pick up your NCERTs, look at your grade 6 to 10th books, understand the kind of questions they are asking, and also develop on your ability to interpret the data or to create the data therefrom. With this, we come to the end of this video. So basically, I discussed how you need to go about this exam, what are the basics of this exam. The official website I have linked here in the description I've provided. The link to my course, if you want to look at, is also available in the description. And in case you have any further doubts or queries, you can mention the same in the comment box below. And if there is any update with respect to this exam and further videos, they'll obviously be posted on this channel, and regular notifications will be given on WhatsApp and Telegram groups as well.